We come to this place for magic. We come to Rocky Horror to live, to laugh, to love. Because we need that. All of us. That indescribable feeling we get when the lips hit the screen. And we go somewhere we've gone for the past 48 years to throw things and yell the worst things you've ever heard at a screen. Weirdos dancing around in their underwear while the movie plays in the background. Overt sexual tension I can feel. Somehow, heartbreak feels good in a place like this. Our heroes, scientists, and ex-delivery boys feel like the best part of us, and the movie barely makes sense. Because here, it never does. Friday night specials. We make Rocky better. Okay, well, not like better, but weirder? Okay, let's go with funny. It's definitely funny. We make it funnier.
You know, right now I'm at a convention. I got 30 casts from all over the country here, and including more people who retired, but they're still here. Favorite memory involving Rocky Horror? You know, that's such a hard question. I've done so many things. I hope that my new favorite memory is going to be throwing this convention that we're sitting at right now. That's what I hope it's going to be.
Like here, we're filling posters. We're bagging and boarding them. Why? I like to give people a product that's ready to go and not gross and folded up and rolled like shit. Try to give them something you'd want to buy, so we painstakingly put them in sleeves.
The appeal of a Rocky Horror Shadowcast show. Well, I mean, you know, it's not just the movie. You know, anybody can watch the movie. A Shadowcast show, the full Rocky Horror experience is everything. It's the people dancing around on stage in character. There's the people yelling things and throwing things. It's just there's nothing like it. I mean, it's a hybrid between acting and not acting. You know, because people are like, oh, but what's shadowcasting? Well, the movie's playing and we're doing what they're doing on the movie. And people are like, oh, are you singing and talking? It's like, well, yes, but no. It's a very unique thing. It's a weird type of theater that's not like your typical theater.
We get to pack out for Rutgers tonight, so that's a whole ordeal. After this, I gotta do some prep for packing out. I gotta figure out what we're taking, what we're not taking, because Rutgers does not have the room to take a lot of our good stuff. So we gotta pick and choose what we take and keep.
Depends who you ask. You know, if you ask people who are in musicals, they'll tell you, oh, you know, we have talent. But I've been to some community theater and I beg to differ. It's not all good. It's not all Broadway. You can't just get up there and move around. You gotta be good. You gotta know how to pantomime. You gotta know how to act. You gotta know how to emote. So it's mostly the same. There's an audience watching you. They have to believe you're doing what you're portraying on screen. So it's mostly similar, contrary to popular belief. I learned a lot more about Rocky Horror when my friends started going. And they're like, hey, you gotta see this crazy thing that we went to. And then, oh boy, did I learn a whole lot. I was probably turning 15.
We do Rocky Horror for the rush of the performance, the love of the audience. We do Rocky Horror to get away from the humdrum of everyday life. And we do Rocky Horror so we can be whoever we want to be!
So my name is Nell, and I am the lead graphic designer for FNS. So I was 16 when I went to FNS for the first time, and I've always loved theater my whole life, but I've also always just been so anxious. So I went to FNS and I saw my first show ever. I saw all of these people, they all looked different, they all didn't match, the exact person that was on the screen, and they were all having so much fun, and it just seemed so welcoming and accepting and relaxed, and it's still amazing production quality, and I was just like blinded in the lights. I was so happy, and I was like, I need to do this. And I didn't join cast for a while after, but I was hooked for my first show. I was like, this will be what I do for the rest of my life. And now it's been 5 years.
I've evolved past the word silly.
Is that too much?
Fucking deep you're rolling tonight, man. Jesus.
My workers, Ron.
Your workers.
Ryan.
Some fucking workers.
How you doing? I'm
Hey.
Zach.
What's going on?
Nice
I'm
to meet
Ryan.
you. I'm Cole.
I'm Ryan. You know all these workers, huh? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
unpaid,
don't trip
underpaid.
over anybody or you get tripped on. It'll hurt the whole way.
Really? Like fucking Frank tonight.
You should ask him again, yeah.
How the fuck is everyone doing today?
Just swore. If you didn't know where else, I got the Rocky Horror Picture Show! Thanks for coming out, guys. You know every first, third, and fifth Friday of the month. I think it's the third Friday of the month. But so. Is it? I don't fucking know time. Time's irrelevant. So, guys, spoiler alert, it's a musical. I know one of you did just learn it and is now panicking because either the edible kicked in. Also, don't do edibles before Rocky, you freak. Even if you've never seen or heard this show, you've probably gone to a hip wedding or bar mitzvah, heard a little song called The Time Warp. When the time warp happens, the time warp, it's the law. But you tell me, what's the first step in time warp? Then what? Wave them hands. You put your knees in tight, awkward humping, and the person in front of you use his arms. Let's do the time warp again. Let's do the time warp again. All right, now you know the time warp. You got a seat. Very piss friendly.
Very pissed, no scataway.
You know what's, okay, I'm not going to open that can up. All right, guys, last question. I hate you so much. Very important question. Are you ready for some Rocky Horror? Hey, what can they do for you?
Give me an R!
R.
Give me an
O.
R!
T.
I feel like the camaraderie of it all, like we are such a family, and I know that sounds like so cliche, but every single person on my cast I consider to be family to me. I know at any point if I ever need anything, I can call any one of them and they will be there. Like, it's just, it never gets old to see all of these people that we might not hang out every single day, but it always just, every single Friday that I'm there with them, we start right over. I see them and it's just like warm and it's kind and it's wonderful.
I mean, where Rocky Horror has gone since I started, we can look at it in two ways. We can look at it globally, we can look at it locally. Globally, Rocky Horror has still been the longest running theatrical release movie, probably generating more money than any other movie. It's still run all over the world on a regular basis. It hasn't slowed down. There's been things like the Glee episode, Perks of Being a Wallflower, the remake. These things have kept it in the spotlight. And shows haven't stopped. So globally, its issues, its message still endures. The don't dream it, be it, accepting everybody, being who you want to be. That stuff is still more relevant than ever in the year 2023. But as far as how it's locally changed, I mean, our cast itself, we came from, we started from the bottom, now we're here. To be, honestly, we had nothing. We literally had nothing. We had flood lamps and crappy costumes, and now we have a tremendous amount of infrastructure and organization and a registered 501c3 nonprofit in the state of New Jersey. Tons of fancy equipment and people know how to use it. It's night and day. It's literally, like I say, it's like watching T-ball and then watching the MLB. We went from that to that. It took a long time to get there. It took years. It wasn't overnight. It wasn't somebody said, here's a loan and an idea. It took hard work over a long time with a lot of people. Applause, laughter, cheer, it's like drugs. I've never taken drugs, but I have to assume it's what it feels like. It's just it doesn't get old. You don't get tired of people thinking you're a cool dude. You don't get tired of people thinking you're funny. If anyone says they do, they're liars. You get tired of maybe people thinking you suck or thinking you're an asshole, but you don't get tired of people thinking you're funny, you're good at what you do. You don't.
Hi, I'm Ryan from the Friday Night Specials cast. We're here at Asbury Pride 2023.
My name's David DiMartini, and I'm with the Friday Night Specials cast.
I'm Nell, and we're at the Asbury Park Pride Festival.
What brought us as a cast out to Pride today? Well, we do it every year, literally every year. You know, it's a very adjacent cause to our cast. Favorite part of Pride this year, it's always the people. Just the people. It's always a lot of positive energy every time.
Honestly, I just love everybody's outfits. I love seeing people express themselves. It's been insane. You've seen people dressed in barely anything. You've seen people dressed in the most you've ever seen anyone dressed up in. It's been incredible to see all the different types of styles out there.
Pride's important for me to support all my friends. You know, I have a lot of friends who are in that community, so it's just important for me personally to support them.
I really think Pride's important to me and to FNS just because like the queer community itself is the reason we're here today. They are our biggest customers. They're the reason Rocky Horror became what it is. And I think that Pride is just a reminder of like, you know, the first Pride was a riot. And I feel like we're so lucky and so privileged to be in a place that we can have a Pride festival. And it's really nice to just like be here and rejoice in it.
I mean, Pride's important to the cast because, again, Rocky has always been a very gay place. We have a lot of gay cast members. And again, it's like two peas in a pod. Just important that we stay supporting that movement. It was another great Pride. We've been doing this, 10 years in a row, and it's still great.
So I'm just getting everything ready because I bring a lot of videos and a lot of graphics to the show. So right now what I did was I made the schedule for the show, which we put up on the screen to show the audience when our upcoming shows are. And then I made the slideshow, which plays before the movie, kind of like trailers in a normal theater. And every week I pretty much just go in and I update the ads for the upcoming show. If I have to make some of those ads, I'll put those in there. For me personally, I have a full-time job. I'm a full-time student. So I think the hardest thing is just kind of finding that life-work balance with Rocky, because a lot of times I'll get like so enthralled in, oh, I have all these essays due or anything, and then I'm a week late on ads that we needed to run because tickets need to be sold. And then we had another cast member who did all of the graphic art, and I was pretty much just making like show ads. And then in the span of about 2 months, they quit cast. And so I had to figure all of that out very quickly and try to move into my own style and my own identity as a designer without that support system. I've branched out to different softwares, and I've done so many things that like back in the day I could have never pulled off. So that's pretty much the process, is just trying to get comfortable with everything while also developing what feels right for me and being confident in that art.
Sit. Hey, Molly, sit. Hey, sit. Sit. That's not that bad.
This is really heavy.
That's what she said.
Did she say that?
It's on my nuts up top. More gummies if you want them.
Did you record that?
Do it.
I'm a Transylvanian today. I really haven't had much. I don't really have much to do. Like, I know this role like the back of my hand. I've been doing it for 4 years now. Pretty chill about what I have to do. Mostly worried about my laundry downstairs. It's still wet, and I'm just trying to make sure everything's dry before I go to the show.
Stop. In my hair and I get choked to death.
I'm sorry.
Stop! Don't touch me. Stop touching me. Stop touching me.
think it went really good. It was like Easter break, so we had a huge audience and everybody was just like in really good spirits. It was really fun.
I think there was a couple hiccups we weren't expecting, honestly. So the kind of cockiness I had before kind of vanished right when we got in today.
So it was just super fun. I love performing with my boyfriend and I love performing with my friend Feldman. So it was a really good time. Everybody was in just a really good mood.
Being a transy, you're kind of like the mascots of the show, where you're kind of working with the crowd, you're talking to everybody, you're yelling out funny lines to make everybody laugh. So it's really important, and we're taking care of a lot of the behind the scenes, the flags, we hold the signs to make sure people know what to do with their prop bags. It's important, and it makes you really feel important when you're doing it.
We debuted our newest prop, which was the car that they brought out for Damn It Janet with the functional lights. That was so awesome. And I think it really sets apart that scene because instead of just being on folding chairs, now we have a functional, dynamic prop. I had a great time. I love this show and I love playing this like smaller role and getting to hang out with everybody. And I haven't seen my boyfriend or any of my friends in over a week, so it was really exciting. I love it.
So how do I keep a work-life balance, between the things I like to do and this? Well, obviously I like to do this in like my real life. How do I keep a balance? Regretfully, not as good as I should, and not as good as I aspire to be. Especially not in the last couple years, as the show's gotten bigger, better, as we've been playing this, convention. It's very difficult. Being in charge, having a lot of responsibilities. All of a sudden I get a phone call and there's a problem. And all of a sudden I gotta handle a thing. I gotta respond to an email. And it's time sensitive. Sometimes it's about something business related to the show, or it's something about a contract with a venue, or it's hard. It's something that I've strived to do better with for many years. Regretfully, doing Rocky has always impacted my relationships. It hasn't impacted my professional relationships. I mean, what I can say is when I was younger, what it probably did is it slowed me down from achieving things sooner. Maybe I didn't go to grad school as fast. Maybe I didn't get certain jobs I wanted as fast because I was delaying myself. Now Rocky Horror is really not holding me back. I'm in a place professionally, as far as work and my income, where I can do Rocky Horror and whatever else. I can do whatever the hell I want, as far as not worrying about it interfering with what I do for a living, thankfully. Is there anything unique about my relationships with my castmates? Well, yeah. I mean, essentially, I am the patriarch of my cast. Some of them legitimately call me dad, and I'm not that old. They say it jokingly, but I have a parental relationship with a lot of them, especially the young ones. I care what happens to them. I want them to have good lives. Sometimes I might see them getting into shit and be like, hey, what are you doing? Not a good choice. And sometimes they call me if they got problems, or they ask me real world advice. I've gone and changed their tires. It's a very protective parental type of relationship with a lot of them. In some of them, it's more like siblings. Especially the ones I've known longer, and the older ones, it's more like brothers and sisters. But a lot of them, it's more like they're my kids.
Shock Treatment is the little-known 1981 sequel to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, written by Richard O'Brien. Some say it's a sequel, some say it's an equal. It sure is a movie.
Like a spiritual successor to Rocky. Got like a lot of the same characters, played by different actors, almost like saying like a different universe type of thing.
Well, we chose to do Shock Treatment after a million years because we have a convention coming up that we're hosting, and we are going to do Shock Treatment at the convention, and we wanted it under our belts so that we could speak expertly about it. A lot of us have been in Shock Treatment, we've been in other people's Shock Treatments, we've never thrown our own, so we wanted to have the knowledge to run a production of it. What I want people to really see is the entire presentation, because we are presenting this a little differently than Rocky, because Rocky has a lot of pomp and circumstance before it, AP lines, virgins. Shock Treatment doesn't have that, so what we're trying to do is make this experience as immersive as possible, so I really hope that's what people take away from this. The most difficult part of producing Shock Treatment so far has been starting a show from scratch. With shock treatment, we're training an entire company at one time, which is not something we're used to doing. So that was a learning experience.
It's a new challenge, you know, we're so familiar with Rocky, we're so comfortable with it, so I think for Shocky it's very difficult to kind of like jump into something new and just all of us are trying to figure out like who's gonna go where. We all have to lean on each other a lot, and that's not something that we're used to because when you're doing Rocky every single week, you know exactly where you are at all points, and everybody else does. So at this point, if I step out wrong, Joey's my scene partner, now Joey's wrong. So I think it's just a lot of like cumulative teamwork of trying to figure this out all together in such like a short span of time.
How taking on shock treatment has personally affected my life is it's really all I've done in my free time for the past 3 months. I built all the props, or 90% of them, and I pretty much all my free time was dedicated to prepping it and planning it and building it and ordering things and setting things up, and it's consumed a lot of my free time. What have I learned about producing shock treatment? Communication, communication, communication. You can never have too much communication, and you can never have too much planning, because everything is going to go wrong, just like in any other production. So yeah, I learned a lot about that. What am I most nervous about going into tomorrow? Everything and nothing. It's the best answer I got.
This is the best I feel after a rehearsal. Like, the first two, I was feeling so-so, and now I'm really happy with how it looked. And I'm really excited just to finally have it all together.
When people come in, it's going to be lower lighting. The DTV signs will be set. There'll be a spotlight on It's Gotta Be TV and a spotlight on the Denton sign. So we're setting a whole ass vibe. It's a new experience for us guys. I've been doing this for 21 years. I've never felt a show that was not Rocky. So I learned a whole lot from this. A whole lot, because we have interest in doing possible other shows in the future.
I feel like it went so well and it went so fast, and I'm so upset that it's over. I just want to do it again. Like, it was just such a fantastic time. We had so many guest performers come in. We had so many people do so much.
Don't be afraid to do the hard thing. Yeah, that's what I learned. I mean, how I feel about the cast going to 2023 is this is our year. This is when we lock it down. I mean, we're doing shock treatment. The show is doing better than ever with Rocky. We got the convention. I mean, I cannot stress enough that this is the year. Underline, period.
I feel like we've been on a very high upturn for the last couple of years, and it seems like this can't possibly get better, and it keeps getting better. So I feel like it's just going to be a very big and exciting year for us, especially with the convention in August.
I'm very proud of how much of a cast we've come together over the last year, because I feel like we had some moments where we were getting a little rocky with just interpersonal relationships that we've gotten. Okay, don't giggle at that, come on, man. Personal relationships were taking too much time, and we really powered through that, and we got a whole lot closer just as a cast and as people. And yeah, that's just about it. Like, FNS forever. After the 20 years, we really started putting our shit together and getting it real good, and it makes me really happy to see.
I really don't think I could even imagine a life without Rocky Horror, because it really taught me how to be an adult and taught me how to be a human. Like, I started going to FNS when I was 16, and I grew into the woman I am today and the person that I am today with FNS behind me. So I feel like if I had never found Rocky, I'd probably be in fucking Alabama right now, because I didn't go to that college because I wanted to stay in New Jersey and stay with my cast. So I'd be a very, very different person. I'd probably be very much more reserved, and I'd probably be much grumpier, because this is like the happiest I've ever been being here.
We're filming a music video for our pre-show that we do every Friday, and it's to the song Party Hard.
When it's time to party, we will party hard.
So please, like, be prepared, be ready. I want it to be quick, in and out, like one and done. I'm not trying to do like 15 takes of everybody. If you need to go over the song, please use this time to do it. It's the best time. You can play it, it's not gonna bother me. And yeah, I think that's it. If you have any questions, if you have any ideas, please run them my way.
I'm not gonna do a one-woman show solo of you, but I love ideas. Okay, thank you, bye.
Skits and pre-shows are important to our show overall because I think it's one of those things that kind of sets us apart from other casts. Always improving our production and always improving our comedy and always kind of just putting our heart and soul into everything that we do. And that extra layer of content, I feel like really just personalizes our show in a way that just the performance wouldn't.
When you master this audio, I would definitely work with Steve.
Work with Steve for what?
Mastering the audio.
Can I give Rodeo direction real quick?
Yeah, please. I don't know what to do.
Can you, like, is this gonna fuck with the camera if they go to grab the sides of it? Does that look good? Like, don't touch it.
So having a pre-show just to kind of get them going, get them either laughing or get them prepared for what's going to be happening, I think is really, really important. Especially with some people who come and think it's just the movie, for them to be like, oh shit, this is something completely different.
I can get you tech B-roll, I can get you prop B-roll right now.
Yeah,
what do you want?
Anybody. Capable hands.
All right, bodies that are usually good at moving props around. We're gonna get some B-roll of that right now. So Sponge, Macy, whoever, okay, and then listen to now.
What kind of props are we all moving about?
I don't need this many people. I'm so sorry. Okay. Panda, go. Everybody else, you guys can sit down. I'm sorry.
I think the filming went well. I think everybody was really receptive to direction, and this was one of the first like full cast things we've ever done. And I think for that and for all the voices in the room, it went really well, and it was a great success.
So literally just one party hard, as however you want to do it, or however you want to serve it.
Just like say party hard.
Yeah, like party hard. Like Bernie's hair. Okay. Roll. Good. My next shot, I'm gonna go.
Nell had said that everyone listened very well, but I think at first everyone gets really rowdy when we're all together, so sometimes it's hard to get everyone's attention at once, especially when one person starts talking, kind of erupts, and once we kind of calm everyone down, they'll listen, but it kind of takes a while to get to that place.
It is such an honor and such a joy. It's definitely stressful, it's definitely a pain in the ass, and I definitely in the moment get so like strung out. But from the minute that I joined cast, I said that I wanted to bring pre-shows back. I wanted to do them regularly. I still want to do them live, but it's just such a delight to be able to be in the production process, to see how everything gets made, to be in the writer's room, and to kind of just watch everything come together and do it with the people that you love most.
Well, I'm rolling, so whenever you're ready. Cute. Whatever you want, just party hard.
Party hard.
Cute.
Cute.
What color is that? Blue?
Well,
okay.
actually.
Party hard.
Cool. Cool.
I guess my days are over, guys.
Cool. Okay, Molly.
It's like summer camp for weirdos. You know, you meet people from all over. So it's expanded my horizons. So it's definitely it's made my world a lot bigger than just small living in New Jersey. I can say I got friends all over the world and like mean it. It's weird. Favorite memory involving Rocky Horror? You know, it's such a hard question. I've done so many things. I hope that my new favorite memory is going to be throwing this convention that we're sitting at right now. That's what I hope it's going to be. Before that, maybe performing Brad in front of Barry Bostwick, who played Brad in the movie, in the town across the street from where I started doing Rocky Horror. That was like a weird bucket list. Barry Bostwick was doing appearances at shows during COVID. He was a guest at the show. He would open up the show, and you know, I played Brad in front of Brad across the street from where I started like 20 years earlier. It was such a weird, it was like the biggest full circle moment of my life.
The really rabid fans who became the shadowcasts around the world that kept this thing alive. And then it was the regular fans who just wanted to get stoned and go to a movie. The shadowcasts are there for the friendship, and they had found their own group. And those friendships have lasted a lifetime. It's about finding your way, you know, it's about the loss of innocence, the movie, and everybody goes through that. If you see it at the right age, I think it brings up a lot of questions, and I think that's why it's so enduring, you know. That, and it's just sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Like now, Ryan will look at me and just be like, you're doing a great job. Or I'll send him an ad and he'll be like, ooh, I love that. Like, he has really upped his ante on giving positive feedback and like really showing the people that show up for him how much he cares. Hey, Ryan, like, I feel like at shows, you are mean. Like, he will immediately just be like, nope, not anymore. And like work every single day and make that active choice to be the best version of himself in the way that I think all of us want to be. He has changed so much and also stayed so true to himself. And it's just, that's another thing too, to kind of be like, that's so cool that like you can do something for so long and still have a new look on it and still adapt and grow and change with it. But yeah, he's absolutely changed a ton since I first met him to now.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the people, when I started doing Rocky Horror, there was a lot of adults, and some of them might have seemed pretty cool, but I don't think a single one of them had their shit together. And I want people to look at me as someone who has my shit together, and I generally do. You know, I have a whole ass career and a life. I take care of my business as an adult, and I watch a lot of these adults not. I'm not trying to blow smoke up people's ass by saying at 17 I was running the show better than some of these people who were twice my age. Just because I cared and I separated my life nonsense from this to get the job done. Because I wanted to put out a product of a good show for people who are paying money to see it. I mean, growing up, you're like, oh, it's just a dude dressing in drag. But, you know, when you're 16, you don't know any better. You know, you're going to glom on to any type of person that is interesting or, you know, cool. I like to hope I'm setting a better example for a lot of these people than people set for me. And I hope so. I hope I can say that. You know, a lot of our people are going on to bigger, better things, college, jobs, careers, and I'm happy to watch it. I'm happy to watch these. I watch a lot of people grow up and to be adults. And it's humbling in a way. It's like, you know, sheltering them, you know, kicking them out of the nest in a weird way. I'm not their parents, but I watch people grow up. It's weird.
This is somebody who has everything they do, every detail, every part of what they do for their cast, everything they do for any aspect of this community. But this is a cast award. This is an Atlas award. But this person cares about everything as much as I've seen anybody care. To a fault. This is a person who I've really, over the last few years, developed a ton of respect for, who I've learned from watching. I'm not too old to learn. And this is a person whose cast will never be in anybody's shadow, ever. Okay? This is Ryan Wilson.
Yeah. That was such a special moment, and I'm so embarrassed because there's so many like photos where I'm just like sobbing because I was so emotional. Like for everything that Ryan does for our cast, I mean, everybody thanks him in their own way, but it's like we've never really been able to give to him what he's given to us because he's given us such a huge, unexplainable thing, like this cast, this community, this lifestyle. Like, he made all of this happen. So when he got the award, everybody backstage was screaming, like crying our eyes out. We were all group hugging. But afterwards, when we went up on stage and he said, like, these are the people that brought you the convention, like, she did this, Nell did this, like.
Convention. Where's that ass? Get out here. Get the fuck out here. You're doing really technical. Drop the fucking clock. Come out here. So many people work hard.
It was just such a beautiful moment because it felt like all of the hard work that we had done had culminated to this point, and we were finally able to really appreciate one another and enjoy in all of it. Because this was near the end of the convention. Like, we had worked so hard, and then Ryan getting that award and that big standout to show the community 30 people brought you this national convention and every single person played a fundamental role. It was just such a beautiful and magical moment that I couldn't even I don't really think anything will match it. Because we all got off stage and we all just pulled each other into our arms, we all cried, we all hugged, and it was just such an FNS forever moment. It really reminded all of us why we do what we do and what really is worth it in the end.
And I'm so proud of all you fucking guys. I love you so much. So let's fucking do this. Do me a favor, cross the lot, buy some merch on the way out. So, and after that, we'll fucking party. And show how we do this. Alright guys, the last thing. We gotta fucking do this. Who is ready for some fucking Rocky Horror?